Morning, folks. This shave's going to be a wee bit different than usual. Today's shaver is going to be with a QShave clone, the Mercury Future. I'm going to start out with setting number 6, then I'll go to 5, then I'll go to 4. It's got a feather blade on it. It's on its second use. I'm going to try to use a shaving stick soap. I think it's Vie Long. Anyway, as it goes for the scent of this soap, it's I would say it's a fresh scent. Almost maybe a little bit of maybe a cologne. More fresh though. Anyway, I'm going to give this a try. Face lathering today, in other words. No bowl lathering, so we're going to see how this works out for me. Alum block without the rubber band. Still using the unscented witch hazel that's mentholated. Today I'm going to follow up with a, I was in between Clubman Gent and British Sterling. I was deciding in between the two and decided to go with this one here. And this is my beard oil that I've been using, the Shaven Sailor. Pretty good stuff. Works well with my beard color. Doesn't change the color. At any rate, I've already put a hot towel to the face. My brush that I'm using today is a horsehair brush. I got it here in my sink. In fact, I'm going to squeeze most of the water out. This was the first horsehair brush that I ever got. Still works just fine for me. There were some comments, I guess you might say I should mention, that got me to thinking. One, Jill did mention about how she used shave sticks with a pre-shave, the cube, and she hasn't had any issues with it, so I'm going to use it on Monday. But I thought this would be, I guess you might say, my first time trying to do a face lather without the pre-shave. We'll see how it goes with DE. But mentioning about, you know, some folks have never tried a horsehair brush, and which I would understand, because if I had, I started wet shaving in 2015, and if I had just now started, I don't know that I would have started with a natural bristle brush with all the synthetic knots that you see out there. I saw a posting on Instagram, just a couple of really nice, just beautiful brushes, synthetic knots. And knowing how can you say, how I feel about them right now, on how good they look, that I'm using them, that I can only imagine somebody that's just now starting out the lure to go to a brush like that. Kind of makes you wonder if there's going to be a demise, if you will, of natural bristle shaving brushes, just because of the technology today versus how it used to be with synthetic knots. How things have changed, and they're much better than what they used to be. Hopefully I don't have too much water in here. Maybe I should squeeze some more out. I think it's easier to add water in this process than it is to add product. I have seen 2 different ways of using a shave stick, at least 2, as well as the samples, which I thought about doing that with with a sample, use it similar to a shave stick, in that some will just, you know, rub it on the face like I just did, and some will take the stick and lather it up that direction, which is something I've thought about too. I'd have to say this is a little bit messier. I used this stick quite some time ago, and I lathered the other way. And it didn't seem to be too bad. My biggest concern is getting enough lather built up in the brush to where I get another pass in or two. So we'll see how this goes. Tomorrow being Monday, we're going to start with the Feather Artist Club Camisori style shaver. Don't know if this is going to quite cut it. No, I'll be able to get one pass in. Like I say, I haven't done this in quite a while. A good long while. Well over, what, year and a half or so? As it goes for trying to face lather with a shaving stick. Definitely need to improve my technique, don't I? I do have a bowl with some residual shaving cream in there. I might have to resort to that. We'll see how it goes. At any rate, I'm going to dry my hand here. Looks like I lost a bristle or two. We'll catch it with the shaver. Here we go. That's another thing too that might be, I guess you might say, off-putting for some folks. Just the bristle loss that you get from time to time with the natural bristle brush. Reason why some people might like the synthetics somewhat more, which I can understand. For me, my experience with this shaver has always been positive. I have not had any issues out of this shaver. Matter of fact, I enjoy using it. That was even on a setting 6. It was that pass there was pretty smooth. Switching it to setting 5 now. But that was a pretty smooth pass right there. Soap doesn't seem to be too terribly bad. Seems to be alright. I mean, there was plenty of slickness and glide for a DE shave. May have to try it one day with a shavette. Also been kind of, don't know if I need to add a little bit of water there. Need to start making preparations for September for a single edge shave. Been debating whether I'm going to do the full month with single edge shavers, or at least on a Sunday where they're all incorporate a different kind of single edge, in other words a shavette. Yeah, I'm thinking my skills are lacking here when it comes to face lathering. I think it's going to take a few more tries. It is a wee bit thin. Just a little bit, huh? Might speak to the slickness of the soap though, because it doesn't, even with it being thin, not as thick as what I'm used to. It seems to be shaving pretty good though. lather is definitely thin, but slickness though is still there. We'll see what the alum block has to say. This might be considered one of those days where, and I did wake up this way, my head was just splitting this morning. A lot of pressure around my eyes. So I was responding to the comments, what I normally do in the mornings, either right before I get ready for the next shave or right after I post the next video, depending on the situation. My son, we last night he talked me into watching a boxing video on YouTube. Now, matter of fact, I've got to get some more lather here. The video was on YouTube, and I think the boxers that he was watching was KSI, and can't remember if it was Logan Paul, Paul Logan. Can't remember for sure what the other gentleman's name was. But we were watching the boxing match, and it's been a good long while since I watched one. When I was younger, and I do mean this was quite a while back, there's a big difference nowadays. But the last time I was watching any kind of boxing was back when it was on TV, what would be considered over the air. So in other words, before HBO took over, or they started doing most of the boxing matches on HBO. In other words, we're talking a good long while back. Matter of fact, if you're not very old, you probably don't remember it being any different. But I remember those days, watching boxing, and this match was quite interesting. My son's getting interested, starting Taekwondo. And considering he's not interested in any sports, this came to a shock to me. So here pretty soon we'll have conversations about what it's going to take to get physically fit doing these sort of events, because especially if he plans on doing any kind of competition, getting fit is going to be important. Face lathering, still got lots of practice to do. Matter of fact, today, Folk Shaver is supposed to have a live shave today. My time, I think it's 11 o'clock if I remember right. I looked up more than once, so I got them confused in my head yesterday. Made it to one live shave and missed another one. That and my wife, she's a nurse, she does home health. And so by the time she got done with her visits, feels pretty decent. We had some running around to do, so it was like 7:30 going on 8 o'clock before I got home last night. It was kind of late. So I was late doing all my routine that I normally do in the evenings, as well as watching the boxing match. But at any rate, messed up and missed one of the live videos. Got them confused in my head. Folk Shaver, you know how life will get in the way. Kind of like this morning, splitting headache. Wasn't too sure if I was going to make it this morning. And took enough medication to at least knock the edge of the headache off. And for him, he was a lot in the same way, that he was going to have to pull back quite a bit or just stop completely because of basically life getting in the way. And you know, what's more important. And anyhow, he's going to be doing a live video today. And which kind of brings up comments, because when I watch the live videos and you got the comments scrolling on the side, I have a strong tendency not to pay attention to the comments on the side, but watching the video. And that's me. Focus on the video. So if you're commenting on the side, I might miss it, which brings up, I didn't realize this. It never crossed my mind. And by the way, just a little bit of stinging, not much. And considering how thin the lather was, hey, that's darn good shave. Just a little bit of stinging, yeah, that's pretty good. Anyway, I didn't realize I was looking through, went over on the other side, if you will, looking at the analytics, if you will. There's a place down there where you can click on comments, and didn't realize that some of these comments were being held over to the side. I never even noticed that, because typically when I respond to the comments, it's from the video, and as opposed to going to the other side of things, if you will, where I could bring up all the comments from all the videos all in one stream. And I had noticed that there was like 9 comments, you know, being held from 3 or so months ago. And it's just like, oh my goodness, had no idea that, you know, for instance, Eric from Adventures in West Shaving, he had some comments that were being held from a while back, and just, you know, kind of felt bad that, you know, I didn't realize that I was having comments held over like that. And so if you made a comment and I didn't respond, and I think there's 9 of them, 9 or 10, something like that. You know, it could have been that that was the case, or just a simple oversight on my part. But oh, it was just, I was just really surprised and a little, I guess you might say, upset that I didn't think to look over there, because I don't edit my videos. I don't. I mean, I see that the subscribers, you know, go up and down, which is typical. I understand. I mean, face it, if you're watching shaving videos and you've got a lot of folks that you want to catch from time to time, about as much as a person can catch, sometimes, you know, you got to narrow your list down, because it gets to be so long. Folks get lost in that list unless you bring it up. You know, it just depends on how you view it, how you view your subscriptions. There we go. But at any rate, it's just, I guess you might say, I need to do a little bit better job paying attention to that sort of thing. Because like I say, I don't edit my videos. What you see is what you get. So if I cut myself and I'm bleeding, that's what you're going to get to see. And nice cooling effect this morning. As it goes for the scent on this particular aftershave, I'm not real good at what works best for summer, winter, fall, spring, whatever. I wear whatever I want to wear. But if I had to narrow one down, this one here might be, I guess, maybe a summer scent. In other words, it's a present scent. It is there, but it is not a bold in your face type thing. But it is present. It is there. I guess you might say a light scent, if you will. Not that it's light in strength, just light in the way it smells. Not a heavy scent. There we go. I think that's pretty much what I'm trying to say. It's definitely different than the other 2 that are along these lines. But I really, this one here, I like all 3 of them. But if there was a summer scent, if you will, this one here I think would be it. I may have it backwards, but for me, the lighter scent might be an option for those during the summer months, as opposed to a heavier one. These are, I'm glad they came out with these. I got these from Shave Nation when they first came out. Saw these posted, jumped right on it. Glad I did. They're not real expensive. I think a 6-ounce container, was it $5.95? I think it is, something like that. Also depends on when you buy them, where you buy them from. Kind of mentioned this before. In other words, if you're on a budget, you want to try to probably plan for keeping back some money for right around Black Friday going into Christmas. You'd be surprised on some good deals that you can get on aftershaves and whatnot from folks. Not that, you know, $5.95 for 6 ounces are not a bad buy at all. That's a pretty good buy. Just like the Osage rub, was it 12, 14 ounces for what was it, roughly $5? That's an awesome value. I know my there's not much lather left in there. My face lathering has got to improve, but overall, I'd have to say the shave went pretty well. Very little stinging from the alum block. My face is definitely smooth. Like I say, use settings 6, 5, and 4. The way I would approach this particular shaver is I load it and pop the top upside down as opposed to right side up. So in other words, the cap is down when I pop it off as opposed to up. And gear. That's what the blade looks like on the inside if you're kind of wondering. It does fit in there pretty good. I don't have any problems with the blade loading in there sideways or anything like that. Yeah, I just pop it in there, put it together, and the alignment is just perfect for me. I haven't had any issues out of this shaver, and for the most part it's relatively easy to keep clean. I would have to say Prasso would be the one I'd be kind of concerned about. If you're using Prasso, it may take a little bit more to clean your shaver out, but with this one here, rinsing hot water, running a Q-tip over the top, the surface if you will, keeps it pretty clean. For me, this is a pretty good shaver. I got a link down below to the website. I think I got mine off of eBay though for $15 back when. And I think the going rate now from the website QShave is I think $20. It also comes with a stand. Saw that through the Greek shaver, and what inspired me was which was a few weeks ago, was when I need to give this another revisit, was Flash Boredom. Saw him shaving with it. I've been kind of wanting to get back to that shaver for a while now, and with the other items that showed up, you know, kind of pushed this one off for a whole while. Well, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. I hope everybody's doing well. Stay safe and smooth shaves, because I'm getting ready to put some beard oil and got some whiskers trying to get wild on me. Everybody enjoy their Sunday.